Hi everyone, this is Beau Mansfield, the temporary producer of No One's Watching. And earlier today I recorded a 19-minute long intro to what will probably be about a 22-minute show. So chances are I should do that over and just make this quick and say that, I like to help my friends when I can. I may be a limited guy in what I can actually pull off. And we talk about how broke both me and Tim are in the show a little bit. And that's pretty much the main reason why I'm limited. And, but when I can, I try to help them. And so Tim was going to do a show, or he was going to try to, but he had a real limited amount of time to book the space where he would do the recording and simultaneously get the kind of larger cast that he tries to get. And so he had to basically ask me if I would record me and him talking on my phone, and that would be the show. And of course I was happy to do that. But as we learned from doing the Beau and Tim show in the past, chances are that when I start to get going on various theories or opinions that I have, Tim doesn't want to participate. And so there's about 12 minutes of talking we did that we're not going to be using at all. And, that's fine. I respect, though, his decision that he usually wants there to be women on the show, just for the different vibe that comes from men and women in the same room talking about whatever they're going to talk about, without the usual constraints of what we can and can't talk about in mixed company, at least most of the time. I respect that. I think it's possible to do the show differently than the way he's done it, but I do understand that impulse of his. And so anyway, it just dawns on me that he and I are pretty different guys, and it's possible that after this we're going to have even more limited collaborative activity because we just don't do things the same way. Tim likes to come at things from the standpoint of somebody who's thoroughly degraded and making fun of that situation. I come at things from the standpoint of being somebody who's hit his last moment of patience with the bullshit, whatever it is, and is venting and somewhat engaging in building up my own ego through that process. These are about radically opposed as you can be in terms of approaches to creating content for the public. But I know that Tim cares about what his public hears and how he represents himself artistically, and I want to do what I can to respect that. And I also want to do what I want to do and not worry about whether that's going to be stepping on anybody else's toes creatively. If people get offended by things that I say, that's up to them. But if somebody that I'm collaborating with wants me to be careful, I'll try and do that under the limited circumstances that we have. Plus, it's just me trying to help him be creative, because, like I said, that's like one of the few things I can do. When my friends want me to help them realize their creative visions, I am totally all about that whenever possible. So, without further ado, although, gosh, doesn't this organ music just, can you hear it? There's amazingly crazy organ music going on, and I'm recording this from Catlett Music Center, where I'm about to be involved in a rehearsal of some South American music, as a matter of fact. But this is the theater organ that they're using in the big hall, and it's just something else. So anyway, without further ado, here's No One's Watching.
Hello and welcome to another episode of No One's Watching. A somewhat, shall we say, under-energized Tim Stevens today. Mostly, and by the way, I'm Beau Mansfield, and I'm recording this on my phone because, well, I'll just kind of let Tim talk. I think that's what I should do.
What am I talking about?
Everything that just happened this whole last week or whatever.
Man.
I mean, you were going to try to do a regular episode over at Beau's place.
I was.
Steve Beau's, that
Beau,
is.
who was very great about it and offered a discount and everything, but I couldn't last minute cast it, which is nothing to be too upset about.
No, that's
It's
true.
just, kind
That's
of
true.
wishful thinking there.
Yeah, but it would have kind of validated the whole circumstance of your being in Norman.
That and it's whenever I get to do the episodes, I feel like I get to visit my mom.
Yeah.
And have that a thing I can listen to later.
Yeah.
Which is cool for me.
Of course.
Because she's really great and very old. But yeah, so it's nice to have those moments, But it didn't happen today. It might happen later this week. I don't know.
What's going on in your life, man?
Man, I'm at a point where I'm just at a total loss. Completely clueless. Just dumbfounded. And I don't think a lot of people who know me are shocked by that. Or it's oh, that's new. But this is an absolute existence of those things.
It's a kind of special version of it right now.
Notice you have a St. Christopher medal up in your...
That was the previous owner.
Well, I don't know. I used to have those.
Oh, yeah?
Anyway, yeah.
Okay.
It's a thing. I tried to move to Austin. Was down there about 7 weeks, living out of hostels, working a job. Just about to get on my feet, and it just fell apart.
Well, then wait a minute. There was reasons why the hostels weren't always available. Now this week it's because it's Austin city limits or something, right?
That was the last week I was there.
But you were also planning to come to Norman this weekend for Chris and Celia's wedding
which was
party.
Great. And I'm glad I didn't miss it.
Right, but you had to lose your job in Austin in order to come and do that? Or was there more to it than that?
There's more to it than that. There's some details I don't want to get into. But,
like the thing about the people staying in a place where you were, or the other way around?
There's...
you sure you don't want to talk about that?
Well, let's just say that there was people down there that were kind of a shoulder to lean on.
Uh-huh.
One of situation which I completely fucked up. More than I fucked up anything in my life.
But I don't know about that.
You don't know about that. I don't want people to know about that. I don't know if this person wants people to know about it either. But this person was a really genuine good person. And gave me every opportunity, just out of nowhere. We're just oh, you're here? Well, you just live with me, and here's has cool cats, and has watering plants, and has healthy food every day, and full on Netflix, and let's review movies together.
Full advantages technologically.
Everything that you would ever want from a friend that you would never ask, just there. And somehow I completely screwed this up in some...
Are you sure that you screwed it up? Or they're just...
This is a different situation. Then there's another situation that just fell out on me.
That's the one I wanted you to talk about. I didn't really know what you were referring to.
There's another one. Yeah, there's one that I fucked up, and one that just backed out on me.
The one that backed out on you is what I wouldn't mind hearing you talk about.
The one that backed out on me was just because I was inconveniencing their situation. So it's totally understandable. Okay, it's fine. No one said, come here and stay with me. But they were just kind of oh, well, we're happy you're here. We support it. You could crash here. And then, the second it was, got real, it was I don't know. And I'd already fucked up this other scenario, and then I was out of money. But I was working, So I was generating money, but I was just in this little flat circle of time of a week to 12-day period of I gotta fucking land. I gotta be a guy on a couch or something, and it just wouldn't happen. And it's okay, and there's reasons for that, and it wasn't a total dream to go to Austin. It was just a new journey, and I didn't really get more than 1 foot going on. And I was like, man, it just kind of bummed me out that I didn't really get to find myself in the moment of that journey. I just got to the early struggles, and then it just fucking fell apart. And like I said, partially due to me, absolutely all 100% due to me. But then the world around me just wouldn't let it exist either. So now I have to rethink my shit. I'm back in the hometown, Norman.
Right. For an indefinite...
Humbly and humiliation of just hey, I thought you moved to Austin. Hey, I thought I did too.
Well, let me tell you a brief thing, and then you talk some more. I didn't know you 4 years ago when I moved to 4.5 years ago when I moved to Boise, Idaho for 6 weeks.
I didn't hear about that. I've never heard about this.
I did tell you about it, but you may have been drunk, so okay, I don't expect you to remember. But it's too funny that I know you really only after I've been sober.
You're the first sober cast member if no one's watching.
Exactly. It's fucking well overdue.
So you just take the wheel on this one.
All right.
Okay.
So the whole time we were talking about this before, you're trying to control every aspect, and now you tell me on while we're recording that I should take the wheel. It's too brilliant. Anyway, the fucking thing is, I would... Exactly. Quixotic motherfucker. Anyway, so the thing is, no, that's cool. I'm glad that you're alive. I'm glad you're not injured. I'm glad you're, able to talk without being too upset to talk. I could understand if you were, kind of.
Those are the things I try to stay outside of. At least that much I have control over. I'm not going to, just let myself die. I'm not going to take my own life. Yeah. I'm not going to, I should be probably too depressed to talk, but I'm like, no, fuck that, you can keep going.
I have this weird theory that talking alleviates depression. I'm not sure that always works.
Yeah.
But, it's worth a shot once in a fucking while.
Yeah.
Anyway, the thing is, though, 4.5 years ago, I did have about $1,600 or $1,700 saved up. I had a car. Mm-hmm. It was kind of on its last legs. But I had a car, and I had a keyboard. I had a friend that was willing to let me stay for a while, and he also invited me to play with his band. So it wasn't as if I was just going randomly to Boise, Idaho. Mm-hmm. Okay. And we did travel, that band. We drove to Eugene, Oregon, and I had my 40th birthday at a restaurant in Eugene, Oregon, the name of which, of course, I can't remember, but it was a nice restaurant.
Sounds great.
And we thought the other guys in the band didn't like Eugene. They thought it was hideously pretentious. They thought Portland was so cool that its hideously pretentious aspects could be ignored.
And this is almost 5 years ago.
But these are guys from Idaho, so they're going to have a weird perspective on it. They're close enough. It's like a 6 or 7 hour drive from Boise to Portland. So they're close enough. They can go there fairly often. And a lot of their friends, these are people, well, my friend who lived there and invited me into his band and stuff. He had been living in Boise for 5 years by that point. He grew up in Chickasha, Oklahoma, and I knew him in the early aughts from him being a student at OU and a Norman resident for some time. We knew each other socially. And then he moved to Boise, and he had been living there for 5 years when he said, "You want to get out of Oklahoma? Come here." So I thought, all right.
Yeah.
Okay. But, well, long story short, we went to Oregon and played a few gigs, like 3 or 4 there. We went to Humboldt County and played a gig there. I'd never been there in my life. Saw the redwoods, saw a fucking beach, saw Arcata, which it's like, it's a beautiful town, but it's very economically depressed. So while it's all beautiful and there's amazing sushi restaurants everywhere, there's also Caucasian panhandlers everywhere. It's like the suburbs, but it's poor as fuck. Like every place else in California, apparently now. Okay, and this is 4 years ago, but whatever. The thing is, and you're like, why did you say Caucasian panhandlers? What I'm saying is,
I hear what you're saying.
There's not many people of color out there at all.
It's not very diverse.
It's mostly white people, but there's a lot of panhandlers. That's what I'm trying to say, okay?
And no one likes too many white people.
Fuck no.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the thing is, though, and when we played a gig in Eureka, California, which is even rougher than Arcata. I mean, it's a tough motherfucker. But here's the thing. They're the people who, like, weed costs about $6 a gram there. Something like that. And they all grow themselves. And they've all got these hash vape things walking around in the parking lot. And no cops are going to be coming around giving a shit at all. And so they're like, you have to drive all the way back to Boise right now after the gig? That's a 15-hour drive. Here, brother, take this for your journey. And it's a nugget the size of my thumb. They're just fucking giving it to us.
Right.
All right. That is the way it was, but I ran out of money after 6 weeks. The fact that I made $1,600 last 6 weeks, actually I had like $300 to $400 left, and I realized I was getting in trouble because I wasn't going to be able to get out of my friend's house and get a place of my own because I didn't get work. I couldn't get work. I went to a temp agency at least and other things into nothing. You know what I mean? Everybody was really sweet, but I was like, I'm going to ruin this friendship if I stay here another week or two, because I know I'm going to be completely broke. I'm not going to be able to drive back to Oklahoma. So I call up the church where I used to play the organ, and they hadn't found a permanent replacement for me. And I got my job back over the phone. And I called my mom, and I said, Mom, I'm coming home. And I've been living with my mom for the last 4 years. Okay?
Okay.
So I'm saying I've kind of been where you're at.
This was a true escape.
I've kind of been where you're at. A little bit. That's all. Now you tell me more if you want.
About.
Well, you came up here to see Chris and Celia's wedding, which is cool, but it's like you couldn't really swing it with the job that you had, right? And it was like a new job you'd had for like 2 weeks, right? And then it was 3 weeks or something like that.
Yeah, well, it was coming into a month. I mean, I immediately got a job. I got lucky on that, but it only took me about 10 to 12 days to get a job. But, I mean, each day cost me $40, and I didn't have a lot of money to survive on, so, it got to, like, a breaking point. But that's okay. I mean, I liked that I did that. I mean, I needed to at least do something like that. I would have liked to have a little bit more time, but that's okay. And I'm glad that I got to see two amazing friends and their wedding parties.
Yeah, well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the wedding party, and I'm going to go ahead and mention names because they're all positive. You know what I'm saying?
If you do have nice things to
say. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I've talked about people on the show that you and I did.
Yeah.
And
I don't need to get into that.
No, I just mean I had only one person I was negative about, okay? And really. And, okay. and I'm saying, but then I would talk and we would edit out the other stuff that I said.
Right.
But the point, but I'm just saying that I just wanted to say some things that were positive about my being at that same wedding party that you were at last night. First of all, I got to sing harmony with Caleb McGee.
Yeah, that's cool.
I don't know. I thought it would be nice. I didn't make any assumptions, but I don't know how to explain to you as a musician.
And as a singer.
Well, right. Okay. A musician who is singing in their capacity as a musician. To be able to just, on the fly, sing harmony with him.
Yeah.
And it sounds pretty good. And we're smiling at each other and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, it's completely lovable.
I don't really know how to explain to you how healing that is, because too many people, you love what they do. You love the songs they write. Now, first of all, Caleb does not write very many songs. He does mostly covers. So even if he embellishes the melody, generally the parts where I sang harmony, he stuck to a simpler part. And I sang without embellishing my harmony part. That's technical shit. I know you're like bored already. The point is, it's all part and parcel of why it was healing to me to do that, because there's so much fucking competitional bullshit around Norman. It's just New York, only poorer. That's it.
No.
It is.
Let me say something.
No, wait, hold on. I'm almost done. Just fucking wait, okay?
I'm waiting.
Now I'm going to make you wait.
Okay.
Some more.
All right.
Dick. Anyway, the point is, I did this healing singing with Caleb, and but there's people here who write great songs, but you sing harmony, and they get lost because they're really not very strong musicians.
Okay. There's not enough collaborations.
Well, it's not that. Well, they're welcome to it. They welcome it, but they don't have the musical skill to be able to keep their own tune on their own song. When you add harmony to it, they get confused. They're that kind of weak in their musical skills.
A special moment.
Well, it just also made me think there might be hope, because there was somebody that like I could be a backup singer to, and it really would not suck. It would really be good.
The special thing about those two is, I don't know how many times we've said special thing, that's annoying, but is they really are like the most sincere, loving, happy, funny people I know. And what's admirable about them so much is it's not about them. It's never even about them.
No, they're not egomaniacal like that.
No,
they're not posing. They're not
Leos,
posturing.
So that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, maybe it's a little bit about them sometimes, but it's really not.
I don't really know how it ever is. I mean,
what I got to do at the weddings, I got to MC and host. And I'm not going to say I did a great job. I'm not going to say I did a poor job. It's just kind of
you did a lovely
sporadic,
job.
Last minute kind of thing.
Stop dissing yourself.
But,
you did a good job.
I'm just saying, I don't want to go on and be like, oh, I did this awesome thing. But what my contribution was, I'm the one who, Anthony, his brother, already had a pre-planned toast, but I got to motivate and convince the rest of the family to come up and
speak their heart.
Come from the heart.
Yeah.
And whether people heard it or whatever they took in from it, from what I saw, that was awesome. Like, I was like, oh, I helped do this. Because all the family that came out and did it, like, they really felt it, what they were saying, and being in a moment of just being like, you know what? This is what I have to say about these people or this wedding. And, of course, Chris the whole time is just being like, holding his baby, rocking his baby next to his wife with their daughter. He's like, yeah!
No, there was
like rock and roll support about everything because they're so rock and roll of a couple.
It's
and
too
their whole
funny.
family is, but it's just like, yeah, like someone's mom is like crying and they're like, "Woo, yeah!"
No, he knew it. He kept it light. He kept it light and kept it from getting too fucking sappy.
After I saw that, I just
not that his parents are sappy or anything like that. I'm just saying,
Yeah, after all that, I just went back to a room and passed out, and I missed like hot tub parties, and robe drinking. And
Robitussin drinking?
No, just people in robes.
I was like, that doesn't sound like that, people.
And I woke up like early for breakfast and was like, well, I woke up first for breakfast, so I didn't miss a fucking thing. Like, that's how I'm getting old, I guess. But
listen,
that's all I needed to see.
I know
everybody get a chance to put their heart out there and be happy.
I won't mention names, but there's somebody who I haven't really talked with in a while on a like one-to-one level, and I met her boyfriend for the first time, and this woman's ex-boyfriend is one of my very best friends.
Okay.
He doesn't live around here anymore.
Okay.
So it was like, I almost felt guilty for having such a really good kind of healing conversation with her and this new boyfriend of hers that I
Yeah.
just met, who it turns out plays music with somebody that I used to play music with, and blah, 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 blah. You know, it was like, oh, there's some connection there after all, or whatever. But it was just things like that where I was just like, I'm doing okay. I'm feeling more confident, even though I've been only this last week or two I've started getting work again. I was so fucking broke for like 4 or 5 months now. It's really been awful.
Yeah.
It's really been difficult. And so this thing where you're going through turmoil, it's like I'm stuck. But I'm not going through the turmoil you're going through, but I am kind of stuck, and it feels like, you know.
Let me get somewhere.
Okay.
I like what you're saying. I like the connection you're making there with the boyfriend you shouldn't like and the turmoil of all things and where I'm at.
Right.
And I'm getting to a point to where I'm not saying this as like a bright-eyed young person because I'm 37 years old. I'm past optimism. Okay. It's there for me.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, I went through that journey. I'm trying to go through the next thing of hopefully moving to Oklahoma City and restarting my life there to save up and move to Eugene, Oregon, or somewhere cool like that. But I like what you're saying like about that because I've had some ups and downs and in and outs of my life that have knocked my fucking perspective all over the fucking place. But I like where you're going and where I'm going, and I think the more story is, it's okay to like all people.
So this was Beau just signing off, letting everybody know that it was at the point where I cut the tape there, so to speak, the digital tape, where Tim and I started to differ radically in numerous ways. And so I'm just going to say, you know, in spite of that, in spite of the fact that things are hard for us, things are hard for most of our friends. The few friends we have that things aren't hard for, we can't hang around them too much for fear they'll get sick of us. But if the more we hang around with only the other friends of ours that are struggling really hard, we continue to be stressed out. We're going to alienate each other too, instead of being able to build each other up. But, well, you know, I'll just say, I hope that Tim does better. And it's all about keeping your head above water, making a way when you can. Peace out.